C-Sauciem, 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 Yetch cow high, yetch cow high, yetch cow high, yetch cow high. Hey, good evening. This is Coyote Chris Sutton. I'm here with
Sharla Hardin.
And you're watching The Spirit Drum. Tonight, our special guest is a great friend and a good person, and one of the most interesting people I think you'll ever want to meet. And that's our friend Gwen Allen. Welcome to The Spirit Drum, Gwen.
Hi, Gwen.
Hi, thank you. Hi, thank you, everybody, for having me, man. I really appreciate this. It gives me a chance to be able to just be me and talk about the stuff that I love, man.
Yeah, we're going to let you do that, too, for sure. Gwen and I met about a year ago, and we were at a paranormal convention in an old, dilapidated amusement park called Dog Patch USA, is in Arkansas, just south of the Missouri border. And it was an interesting con because I think there was more participants than there were guests, but we had a great time, and we got to meet each other, and I just became very fascinated with Gwen and what she does at that time. And so you couldn't wait to get on the show, and we finally got our chance tonight. So Gwen, first of all, why don't you just tell us about yourself? I mean, and there's a lot of stuff to tell, so people get to know you a little bit.
Masala. Yes, man. That was a very interesting thing because it's like we drove all the way from Salt Lake City, Utah, man. So that was like through Kansas, and that was like I felt like I was on a pilgrimage, okay? Because once you got in Kansas, there was nothing, man. I mean, it was like you just driving and driving and driving, and then I was like, oh, look, the Wizard of Oz Museum. Oh, then you passed that. And then next thing you're going in just when you're Branson and everything like that, it's like, oh my God, is there anything to look at out here? I'm like, oh my, if you get stuck on the side of the road, you're done, son. I'm like, so it was relatively, I'm from the South. I mean, I was born in Mobile, Alabama, and you know what, and it's like, so I grew up in the South, and and that was like my thing, but that was like a different part of the South, like I ain't never seen before.
Yeah,
it was quite an eye opener. Trust me, it was. And then we got lost getting into the amusement park, and the whole time GPS, I'm just like, yo, is this GPS hating on us or something? Because I could have sworn I passed that entrance like 10 times.
Yep. It was hating me too. I wouldn't have much better luck either. So yeah, it was weird. So tell these folks what you're about. What do you do?
That's the thing about me is that I'm a jack of all trades. That's what I like to call myself. It's like I'm like a gypsy kind of, It's like if I'm not sitting here at the cafe making drinks, I'm doing Stone Paranormal, which is my baby, and my family and everything else that is out here. And it's like since I've last seen you, Chris, it's like I've done so many things, man. It's like I got that dog patch on Amazon Prime, and UK right now, and it's all on our YouTube TV, and and that's blowing up. And then and after I went to there, I told you that I went to Virginia City, and I did the Mackey Mansion 2 times there. The first time we went out there, I did an investigation, and the second time they called us back because they wanted us to do a Halloween thing down there. And so it was the most beautiful thing is because everybody who don't know is that I'm a psychic medium, so I do a lot of readings, and I do a lot of readings for a lot of people from around the world, and it's like that I got there, and it's like all of a sudden something just got on me. So they called me back the second time, and I actually got to have the whole dining room where John Mackey, Mark Twain, presidents, sat down and ate food, and here I am sitting here walking behind, sitting there, like I'm saying, at the big table. I wasn't at the little kid table no more, eating with the kids no more. I was with the grown people. and that was a great experience. And they had like a little fair and festival going down there, and we did another investigation that evening. And since then, I think I told you about the group that we have now was that we're a paranormal group, but I wanted to do something that was a little different than what everybody else was doing, because
Right.
I like to call myself like backwards. I do things backwards. I mean, spiritually, for 35 years now, I've been a mumbo to voodoo. UK, I've gone through Santeria, I've been
Mhm.
scratched in Palo Mayombe, and and I've consoled, into the voodoo side. But that's coming from my granny, from my great grandmama, and everything else like this. So most people, when they think about voodoo, they think about it in this negative thing. Since the early 1960s, when the GIs went over there and they came back and everything was zombies and black
Right.
magic and all this, and I just sit there and I look at things and I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, that's where ignorance comes into play.
Okay.
And that's where,
Mhm.
a lot of prejudice comes into play because, people are acceptable to what they hear and what they see. And they think that this is just a one color,
Mhm.
spirituality. And it's not, it's a
Right.
spirituality of the people.
Mhm.
And it's like it don't matter what race, what color, where you came from, it unites us all back to the motherland of Africa where we came from, and our spirits, and from the migrations and the journeys. And and pretty much, it's basically earth, air, fire, water. Okay, it's just like
Yep.
Native American shamanism, it's like Wicca, it's like all
Mhm.
of these things. It's all a derivative of those things. But I just get so many people that are just fearful of it,
Right.
because while most people are out there hunting ghosts and chasing ghosts, I spent most of my life depossessing people, doing
Mhm.
exorcisms, doing cleansings, ancestral worship. I've been messing with spirits for such a long time. And it's like I was born this way because, it's sometimes that's the way that it happens. The
Yeah.
gift. So I was the first female grandchild from from the family. So it was only kind of fitting that it was on here and we're talking about this because a lot of people, they get a lot of people on their shows and they do a lot
Mhm.
of that. You got to think about the whole spiritual side of ghost hunting, of paranormal
Mhm.
investigation,
Right.
because that's what makes it an investigation. Is not just using all the tools and EVPs, your dolls and you got to rely upon yourself, because what was our
Mhm.
ancestors doing? How were
Mhm.
they
Exactly.
communicating with spirit?
It's funny
And
you
how
say that. I've had this conversation before with people, and I want to ask you about this and get your opinion on it because I think that, over so many years, we've become almost numb to a lot of the energy from the earth and the vibration. When I
Mhm.
think about, I don't know, maybe hundreds, 1,000 years ago, they didn't have clocks. I mean, they may have had some devices that they used, but everything that they did was so in sync with nature and with the rhythm of and cycles of the earth and day and night and seasons. And you had to be sensitive to that in order to survive. But I think as technology has evolved, it's kind of removed us step by step and a little bit further and further away from what our ancestors must have been like and what they must have experienced. Do you see that a lot?
I'm going to tell you something. That's a very good point that you just, brought up, because you got to think about it like this, okay? Everybody thinks that our ancient ancestors were stupid. They think that they were just rubbing rocks together
Yep.
and that they were just running around butt naked with bear skins, and they think that that they didn't know what they're doing. But we got ancient civilizations that are right there in front of our face, that are showing up all the time, that predate history of things that we as human beings cannot even
Yeah.
recreate to this day. So technology is, sometimes you got to take that out. It's not the technology thing, it's the people thing, okay?
Mhm.
People have lost touch with the earth. People have lost touch with Gaia. People have lost touch with the Akashitic records. People have lost touch with just being people with people nowadays. Okay, everybody understands that they think that technology now equals the ego.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you can get past all of that and you can get to the point being is that you can put your feet in the dirt, close your eyes, and synchronize yourself like our ancestors. Okay, that's why I always said the last step in my spirituality was the Native American shaman side. I'm over 50% Native American, looking at me, from the
Mhm.
Cherokee Nation to the Muskogee Creek Nation, where my grandmama came from. And my granny always told me, she said, baby, what you got is what you got. That means what you standing on is what you standing on, and what you gonna eat is what is right there in front of your face. And you need to take care of what you got, because you know what, you're not promised tomorrow.
That's right.
You know, and
Exactly right.
so that's like saying what you were saying, baby, is that, so many people, they get to the point being is that I feel that we as human beings are dumbing ourselves down every day. The more technology we get, the more dumb we're becoming. Because what happened to the times when kids were outside playing in the yard, playing in puddles, going to the little general store and getting your little piece of 5-cent candy, having fun with your cousins, being home before the street lights, the kids nowadays and human beings nowadays, they don't have time for that, because everybody's chasing that almighty dollar. And if you think about it, that's what a lot of paranormal investigations have turned into now, is everybody's trying to seek that almighty dollar. And instead of sitting there trying to think about that, wait a minute, if I'm going into somebody's house and I'm helping them, then I better know what the hell I'm going into.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously, real talk. Just like Dogpatch, I did research and all that stuff before I even went there. And it wasn't Dogpatch that I researched the land. Okay, that I was standing on. And I knew that there had to be something that multiple people kept coming and owning that property, and it never stuck with nobody. Everybody went into some kind of financial ruin. So you know what they told me in my religion, and this is coming to Chris right now, okay? Native Americans in my faith means prosperity and wealth, okay? So if there's no prosperity and wealth on that land, then they done pissed somebody off.
They sure did too. We found that out.
Felt that they tried to shut me up, Chris, when I was trying to interview Chris. Something kept, you can see it in the video, it's like something kept trying to choke me out, and it didn't want me to speak the truth. It didn't want us to come together, and we were sitting right in front of a teepee.
It went down good though too, because after we got through that,
it went down the way that the great spirit wanted us to go. And that's why I'm saying, baby girl, you sat there and you asked a very, very valid question. And I've been on a lot of interviews, and people have never made that connection to why is it that people, why can't people just understand that if you're living, then there's something dead, and if there's something dead, then it was once living. So you got to think about it like how I think about it. How would you like it if you worked your whole life, you worked a job 40 hours, 50, 60 hours a week, you bought your house, okay, you're finally living in what you want to live in, you and built it from, even if you didn't build it, it's your house now, and all of a sudden you pass away and somebody else come in your house and disrespect it. I think you're gonna be a disgruntled spirit too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some haunting.
Girl, I know my
that's right.
stuff there. I said I'm gonna have to have me a Viking burial.
I'm gonna poke somebody in the ribs.
She's already making her list out. I know she is. Okay, hey, this is a good time. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back to the Spirit Drum.
Right on.
Do you feel lost in life? Do you seem to be stuck in emotions that are not yours? Is your home not the sanctuary it should be? Contact Spirit Mechanics, where they take a team approach to your metaphysical and spiritual problems. Spirit Mechanics specializes in aura cleansing, stone attunement, attachment removal, and house cleansings. Spirit Mechanics tailors their approach to your individual spiritual path and needs. Now find them monthly at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market in Lexington. Or on Facebook by searching Spirit Mechanics, that's MECHANIX. Spirit Mechanics, for your spiritual health and well-being.
Okay, now Gwen, when you talked about voodoo earlier, and you and I worked a little bit together, and so you've seen me kind of do my thing with the shamanism and stuff when talking about paranormal work, which is spiritual work to us. I mean, and with Sharla too, that's how it works. It's a spiritual thing. It's not just a hunt and ghost thing. So with your voodoo training, how do you use that when you're working with spirits or possessions and things like that?
that's a very good question, because you know what, a lot of people don't come and they don't talk about, you know, the spirituality part of, you know, of the whole voodoo, you know, what pretty much just means spirit. Okay, if we're going to break it down to what it is just that it means spirits. And what it is that in order to even to become initiated, you must die first and you must be reborn. So you know, it's like we cannot have the living without the dead. So we pass through the waters and we come back clean. And it's like, and our eyes are open. And when I mean our eyes are open, I'm not just talking about our third eye. I'm not just talking about the eyes that I see. I'm talking about the eyes in the back of your neck. Your open sensory, you become your mediumship, all those things becoming, because you have to be aware of the spirits that come down and possess your body. Okay, and that does happen. You know, it's just like my head is crowned to the baron and the baroness, and you know what, but in Santeria, my head has been crowned for like 25 years now to Oya, and that's the queen of the dead. So and there's taboos and things that I can't do. I can't dig holes deeper because, you know, certain things, I can't wear certain things, you know, because it's like flowers or things like that, because they're in reverence to the dead. So that's when I was telling you guys a little bit earlier, is that when I went through all of this, I had to leave everything that I knew, and I had to be reborn again in the eyes of the spirit. So it's not like I'm chasing spirits or I'm trying to say that, hey, are you there? Or I'm trying to give proof. It's the point being is that I know that they're there. I know that it's the truth because they possess my body. I've gone through trances. I've healed people. I've done readings. I've done things that a normal human being would not do. Is because when the spirit comes down into your body, it comes down into your body, and they like to call us in the religion horses, because they say that the spirits like to ride you. So that's why I sit there and I say, when I go into a lot of locations, I said I wanted to be able to incorporate all of this, you know, knowledge, the demonology, you know, everything that I got, the occult, everything that I've been studying for this time, the spell working, everything. And I want to be able to go in there, and I wanted to be able to just be real, you know, go up in there, first of all, with that, I got equipment. Yeah, I got that stuff. I know you got to have a camera. I know you have to have all of those things, but sometimes you got to assess what the hell it is that you walking into. Okay, you can't just be going in there and provoking spirits and doing all of these things like this, because I was trained that I know that there's evil and I know that there's good, but a spirit is a spirit. It's all about how much knowledge you got and how to understand and to work with those spirits the way that you're doing. It's just like me. I have a lot of things that are a hell of a lot, that walk with me, that's a hell of a lot stronger than anything that I've walked into these places with. And so that means that a lot of spirits don't like to come to me, but children like to touch me. Okay, I mean, we went into it on my birthday in the abandoned house, but a little kid touched my hand. I got it on Instagram where you could see the marks where they left on my hand. It's the first time I ever been touched in my life. Because normally I have, like, that's why I said I have so much protection. I have, you know, I'm like Wonder Woman. I have like, and I never, you know, and it's like I'm normally the one that I'm going. If I say that, you know what, the spirit is bad, and I'm like this, I'm like, no, I'm not going to sit there and burn no sage. I'm not going to sit there and go through all of that stuff. I'm like, okay, I got something for your behind in the trunk. Okay, I got my bag. Okay, I got some stuff in there. Okay, you know, I'm ready to rock and roll. I got some black salt. Okay, I don't got no gopher dust. Okay, that's just brick dirt. I got some real dirt. Okay, that I had to go dig up on certain times. You know, I got some black soap. If we got to wash down, you know, I got some stuff. I'm just being real with you, okay? Crystals and incense. I got a bag with candles in it. If something happens, then I'm ready to get down to business. And I'm serious, and I'm being real with y'all. And a lot of investigators, they got bags, but it's got cameras in it. It's got EVP stuff in it. It's got everything in it. And I'm like this, if I'm going to go and you're going to investigate with me, you best believe you're going to come out of that investigation the same way that you walked into that investigation. It's just because I look out for so that's what I mean.
That's right.
from my voodoo perspective. It's not me sitting there, like trying to be all big or bad. Or no, I've lived this life. Okay. I've seen this life. I've seen some of the dirtiest spirits that ever walked this earth. I've seen people get possessed. I've gone through ceremonies. I've cleansed people's houses. I've done all this stuff. This is not my first rodeo. I'm not book learned. You understand what I'm saying? I've been taught this way. I can't sit there and say I can go read a book and then whatever's happening in that book is going to be good for everybody. No, that's from the perspective of the author. That's not going to help everybody. If you go into a paranormal investigation with somebody, and if you are in the qualification that I feel that it is my protection to be able to make sure that nothing touches nobody. So that means education. That means before we even go into that place, I'm going to make sure that you know where we're going, who lived in this place, who's been in that place before you even went into that place, was somebody practicing something that was up in there. And then I'm like, yo, check this out. And if I get in there and I feel a little something, I'll be like, I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm coming back with the bag.
Can we go back to something that you said a little while ago about liking spirits to horses and how they ride on people? There was something I was watching that you did, and I think it was when you were looking in Ted Bundy's basement.
Oh.
And you made a comment about that. It's funny that you say that because I've been thinking about it since I watched it. And I can't remember what the context was, but you were there and you were looking and you were talking about the things that people had written on the wall. And you talked about how that's how they preserve themselves by writing the energy of the people that come in to see it.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes,
because I've been fascinated by that.
Now, yeah, baby. Because let me tell you something. These cats out here nowadays, I don't understand what they're going through. That's why I said I don't even think they understand what is going. First of all, that basement, there was more Native American spirits around, more immigrants that were around. There was, pioneers from the Mormon Trail, more of those spirits and everything that was there. But you want to know what made that basement evil? People.
Yeah.
People. They went in there drawing symbols on the walls and doing rituals and satanic things and all this stuff that they knew nothing about. And what they did is that drew more people to it. And so the energy was being taken from these people. And that's why I said people didn't know what they were going home with. That's why certain people were feeling certain ways and all of these things. It was like a big portal that was opened up and it was a buffet. Okay. And if you went up into it and you was not prepared, what's the first thing you're going to focus in on? You're going to focus in on the Batamans on the wall. You're going to focus in on the 666. You're going to focus in on the sensational stuff of it. And right then and there, you opening yourself up for something that has been dark, that is there, that is feeding on people. I'm just like, no, I'm like, yo, this is not cool. And first of all, it was some bobo Satanists anyways, because they didn't even finish the signatures on the thing.
Yeah. Most of them are.
The first thing I focused on was a water heater.
I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, really? I'm like, is what's going on here?
Yeah.
This is what everybody is doing? I'm like, first of all, and that's why I said, you know what? I said, before I leave here, I said, I'm going to shut this door down. And I said, you know what? And I said, the spirits on the outside, y'all been walking this land for a long time, but whatever is coming out of this basement right now, stop. Let me tell you what they did. State of Utah went just about 2 months ago, and they closed that whole thing down and they shut it and boarded up so nobody can walk up in it.
That's good.
So you tell me how the power of words happen, how the power of going up in there is happening. I don't sit there and tell people that, I don't have to break out all these things. I don't have to do no rituals. I'm too old for that now, man. Shoot, I got bad kneecaps. I'm not trying to get on it. Okay, I said the most you're going to get out of me now is if I'm going to sit my behind in a sweat lodge. Okay, and try to get myself right. Okay, but that's kid stuff now. I'm like, I don't got time to be called northeast, southwest and doing all that stuff, because I know that northeast, southwest is going to be there regardless if I call it or not. Because if I break out a compass, guess what? It's going to be there.
Yep.
Okay, and that's why I said that, you know what, that had to go down. And if you ever want to see something really crazy, you should see the possession of Merker Cemetery. What
I
happened
saw
to
that one too.
Oh my
I saw
God.
that one too. That was amazing. And it was interesting. I was watching you, and it was right before I guess the possession that you were holding your hand up. And it's funny because I do that during investigations all the time, and I don't realize I'm doing it. And I never understood really why I did it. But watching you do it, it was interesting because you could watch that whole thing happen step by step, slowly by slowly, and then your hands started shaking. um
You give me
you were
goosebumps.
voicing it, you were voicing it, and you just like, it was very rhythmic, very, I don't know, maybe I was just slowing it down in my mind because I wanted to take in every second. But it was just this beautiful progression. I'm sorry to say beautiful, but for me watching it, it was beautiful.
It was a beautiful progression, girl. I'm gonna tell you, because everything that you just gave me goosebumps. Okay, I mean, I felt it up and down. I was like, ooh, because it brought me back. Because all of a sudden I was just there, and then boom, my skin started turning really red, man. Yeah. And it was like going up my like this. I for a minute there, I thought I was like, oh my God, this is not gonna be PG-13. Some of these souls, man, is hot like fire out here in this cemetery. I'm that crazy one like that. I mean, just like, I mean, you might see me, I might run from a ghost one time. That's because I'm going to the trunk. Okay, I'm not. But and it was like all of a sudden I just felt like I had to start taking off all my stuff, and I felt it's like I knew what a possession was. I knew that it was coming up, and my guardian spirit was like, "Not today, devil. You ain't gonna touch." So that's what it is, that in voodoo, what it is that that's when we have our guardian spirits that come, they are the ones that ride us. They are the ones that become a horse. And the strength that they are, see, I just happen to be a warrior in all my lives. Everything that I've ever done, I've been a warrior. I've had people do past life regressions on me, and they don't even want to do the past life regression because they said all they see me is on the back of a horse bashing people with a stick, or I got a knife, or I got something. That's just I'm just been that way. And when I felt that spirit coming around me and coming around my people, it's like I felt it for the first time in years since I got to Utah. I mean, in Florida, I was crazy, man. But Utah, and I was like, my spirit, I was like, not today, dude. This is not going to be happening. You ain't going to be touching me. You ain't going to be touching my peoples. And I said, you know what? I was like, and that's why you kept seeing me go like this, because I was like, get off me, get off me.
Shaking it off, yeah.
Because if not, then my guardian spirit would have came up, and it would have been a bad situation. I mean, I'm being real with you. That's the way it happens, man. When you see people, it's like we say that we don't try to be God, we try to dance with God. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does.
That's it's not the point being of, of saying you got bad people no matter what religion or spirituality that you're going. You get people that just lust power. You get people, I don't care what it is, if it's in a paranormal field, if it's in a spiritual field, it's whenever power corrupts, but you can't have nothing without power because you got to have strength. So there has to be middle ground. And that's
you have to have power without ego. You have to let spirit take over, and you get the hell out of the way. And that's how I was taught.
And that's what I love so much that you guys got about the spirit drum, because I play all the drums. I play the African djembes, the doombags, I play all that stuff. And it was like, and no one, like, they just taught me some, a few basic things, but spirit comes down on me and they play what they want to play.
That's right.
And people used to ask me, how was that possible? And I'm like, what did you think our ancestors were doing before they even had books or wrote songs? Okay, they
They
had
were-
the drums, they had the spirit, they had all of them things that came through, and you danced with them, you ate with them, you breathed with them. You became a rhythmic pattern of the universe, of the ley lines, of the stars, okay? All of those things, and you just danced and you were joyful.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And
That's
you know,
exactly okay.
I mean, Chris, maybe you can understand that because you know you always dancing with them spirits, man.
Yeah.
That's why I connected with you so much when I was
Oh
sitting
yeah.
there. And I was sitting there and I was looking at the picture that I love so much of us. And you know, and I told my mama, I said, Mom, I said, if you look at the roundness of my face and you look at the roundness of Christopher's face, I said, you know what? You would think that maybe we was related.
I know.
Just
My wife loves that picture, and she can't wait to meet you. She said
I know,
that,
Julie, she be looking out for me, man.
I know. Speaking of looking out, she is. Speaking of looking out, we got to take a short break, and we'll be right back to the Spirit Drum with Gwen Allen.
Right on.
Akashic Awareness is a metaphysical healing and learning center unlike any other. A large selection of crystals, gems, and minerals greet you as you walk in the door, but from that point onward, the journey is yours. They offer a great selection of metaphysical tools, state-of-the-art holistic healing, with classes and lectures scheduled throughout the month. Akashic Awareness is open Tuesday through Saturday, noon until 6:30, 7 on Friday and Saturday. Visit their website for a current calendar of their almost daily special events and guests at akashicawareness.com. And while you are there, be sure to join their email list to stay current. Akashic Awareness, 328 Sycamore Street, Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
They're the ancient antique. Hi, everybody.
Oh. We were talking during the break.
Offline chat. Offline chat.
What I did is we were in the break. I have a Tibetan exorcism wand that I got from a friend of mine, Christopher Booth, and Gwen was talking about her stuff. What kind of stuff like that you got?
Oh my goodness, I'm tripping out because the wand that you just showed me, I have the male and the female one to that, and they're like this big. From a museum that was given to me, and they're like the original ones that were there. The heads are like this big, and the thing I have those ones right there, and they're sitting with my two major voodoo spirits, and then here you come whipping out like one like that. And I was like, whoa, buddy! I'm like, what's going on here? This is kind of crazy.
my work has gotten so crazy, and I'm sitting at the same desk I work at all day, and it's just with the pandemic and stuff, you work from home. And it sucks. I hate it. But so today I said, I've had enough craziness. So I took it off my altar, and I've got it on my desk with me now to help keep me going throughout the day. So yeah, it's a comfort to have that stuff.
You need to have some crystals around you or something for some clarity because you got a lot of energy that's coming around you right now, Chris. And you know what? And I'm gonna tell you something. Whenever you go through any kind of medical or anything like that. Oh, see, you felt me. Okay, I was about to that craziness that makes me who it is, man. I was about to be like, listen, buddy, we need to do this. Get you some water, and hook it down, and everything like this. But I'm just happy that you guys are giving me the opportunity to be able to talk about something that in the paranormal field, a lot of people need to understand is that you got to learn that you got to understand the spiritual side because you're walking between veils, man. You're going into people's houses and you're going on people's land. And the point in the real talk, real meaning is you don't know what somebody was doing in there before you even walked your behind up in there. That's why I don't mess with Ouija boards. That's why I don't mess with them talking boards. I don't even read tarot cards no more. I don't do none of that stuff, man, because I'm just like, yo, if you do not know what you're doing and you're just reading what the meaning is coming out of a book, then you are a conduit for other things to be able to come through and talk. You know, it's just like people do tarot card readings and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this reading. Well, you're supposed to do like 3 months between those readings in order to settle the energies and the cards and all of those things like that. You know, it's just like when you're going into, you know, like just say you're going on an investigation and you don't even know what it is. And if you didn't do the research before you got there, then you know what, you just put yourself and everybody with you in harm, because things do attach to you and go home with you. You know, and I don't think a lot of people, you know, they just sit there and they're just like, it's like everything is sensationalized nowadays. You know, it's like, okay, you know, what you see on TV and then what you see, all of this other stuff. And people don't understand that there's editing and then there's all these things that's going through it. And they don't understand is that 9 times out of 10, when you going into an investigation, you're going to be sitting your behind there for hours and hours and hours and ain't nothing going to happen.
Eating peanut butter crackers.
For real, okay? I'm just sitting there like, dude, I'm like, so what's going on? I'm like, you know, I heard this place was jumping, and you know, I've been in for like 5 hours and went through like, you know, 15 batteries, you know, like I'm saying like this, and a case of water, and you know there's not gonna be no bathroom in none of them locations, okay? So then you start doing a little dance, and then, you know, and then all of a sudden something's caught. It's caught on the camera that you got set up and you was nowhere around.
That's when it always happens. It seems like when you're not paying attention, when your guard is down.
Like, I could be sitting there reciting my ABCs. I've done some crazy stuff, man, just sitting there. And I brought people, you know, that's the good thing about us at Stone, because with Stone Paranormal, it stands for Spiritual Teachings on Natural Eclecticism. Okay, we are a teaching organization. We actually, I have no problem taking people on investigations with me, because, and I'm just like, and don't be sitting here thinking what you see on TV is going to happen. We could be here all dang night and nothing happens. The only thing that can happen is if I crack a joke or start dancing or get bored or something like that. But I'm not going to go on there provoking them spirits. Why am I going to provoke something?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I want to get you guys' opinion. You know, let's get this. I want y'all, not just me talking, but seriously, can somebody explain this provoking thing to me? Because I was taught the complete opposite.
I think it's a lack of respect for the elements. And I think that, you know, people think that they have to give some sort of grand reaction to get one. And I think it's a lot of ego. I think it's a lot of aggression. And I think it's a lack of spiritual connection to the environment and the spirits around you. That's just my opinion.
You know what? And I'm going to tell you something like that. I love you for that opinion, because you came as real as possibly can real with that answer right there. Because a lot of people like to skirt around that with me, and they be like, you know, because somebody, and I'm just like, you know what happened to all this para unity that I be hearing about? You know, and I see more people fighting inside of inside of this, you know, because everybody is like, I'm like, wait a minute, we are the outcasts here, okay? We're the Goonies. We're not the normal people, you know. We're not the ones.
We are the Goonies.
Yes, we are the Goonies. And it's like, I'm like, dude, so where does it come in that so many people in this community that I've seen, and I don't care, because if you don't like me, that's your business, okay? It's either it's not, I'm not sitting here gonna kiss nobody's behind, because I don't need your ratings. That's why I started my own production company and doing all the things that I'm doing now, so I can give it as raw as I want to give it. And this is what really happens if you have a love for the paranormal, and that means understand what the word paranormal means, okay? It's not just ghost. Okay, I'm looking for Bigfoot. I'm looking for aliens. I'm looking for chupacabras. I'm looking for all that stuff that is not normal. Okay? Yep. Because guess what? Because if you go to a situation and you get a skinwalker there and you don't know nothing about no skinwalker, then you're jacked, dude.
You are jacked. Big time.
And that's what it was. Nobody did not, you know, and that's what I don't understand is that what is the big argument amongst people in the paranormal community that we talk about para-unity, but now to me it's becoming more like a social club.
Fortune and glory.
And I don't understand that is because not everybody can afford the equipment. Okay, that stuff is expensive. Okay, that's what, and then you know what, the things that you use on your phone may not be accurate. Okay, so then people wonder why I'm the way that I am, and why I would take witches, and I would take shamans, and I would take priests, and I would take voodoo people and everything on an investigation with me, because guess what, you won't break unless you let yourself break.
That's right.
Okay, you're the greatest tool that you got inside of the whole this paranormal thing. And that's what I be trying to tell people. And then you get people because, oh, you know, they said, listen, I'm just being real for everybody who's listening. The only reason that I can sit there and say that I'm on Amazon or I did anything like this, because I worked damn hard to get there for me and my people. Okay, I mean, seriously, everything I had to teach myself how to be able to do it so that I can reach other people that need help. Right. And that is tired of the BS, man. They're tired of sitting there on TV, and every time you look around, somebody's like, oh, demon, demon, demon. I'm like, y'all need to stop screaming that word demon so much. Okay, right. you wouldn't know a real demon if it came and bit you.
So true. Yep.
A demon is not going to sit there and be doing little dancing figures and all the little things. No, a demon is already on your behind, already scooped out your whole life and your whole demeanor and everything about you. It is a succubus, incubus, whatever the hell you want it to be, okay? But a real demon is not going to sit there and be like, oh, guess what? I'm going to knock this over beside you.
Yeah.
Right.
Happen like that. I believe in guys. I believe in spirit. Okay, but why does everything have to be that? Just like that's, and then when you tell people that and you want to be different, then every sudden everybody want to hate you, and then everybody's talking behind your back, everybody's doing this and doing that, and I'm just like, dude, what does that got to do with the price of eggs? We all here to investigate. We're the here, okay? We need to stick together, okay? We gotta like form an alliance or something, because everybody contributes something. Nobody is greater than anybody when you're an investigator, and that's being an investigator, not a ghost hunter, but an investigator.
And maybe that's it. You know, maybe a lot of people don't take the time to just sit and observe and watch other people and learn, you know, what to do, and then also what not to do sometimes, because sometimes when you see like a behavior in front of you from another investigator that maybe I might have done myself, when I see somebody act that out, I'm like, wow, that's probably not the best way to do it, you know. And I think I learned from watching others what to do and what not to do the same amount, I think, but a lot of times more what not to do.
But see, that's what makes you an investigator and not a ghost hunter. And that's what people, I know I'm kind of going to get a lot of slack, because they're going to be like, oh, so what is the difference between, you know, you're not a ghost hunter, but you're out there looking for ghosts. I said, no, baby, I'm an investigator. I'm out there trying to figure out everything and anything impossible that I can, because 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 equals a lot of things. And I want to know why this house is haunted. I want to know why these spirits are sticking around, and I want to help people that spent their good earned money to live somewhere, okay? And they can't be in that house. The baby's getting scratched, you know, they bring a priest into the house and all this stuff, and that doesn't work. Well, then you know you got a damn problem, okay? And it's just like, you know, maybe Chris, you can maybe understand this a little bit with me, is when I tell people, I said, you know what? White sage can either be your friend or it can be your enemy.
Can be.
You know,
I use it and some pisses some of them off.
I got a lot of white sage, okay? Then here in Utah, we got another kind of sage that grow on the side of the road, okay? It's like abundance. But then again, people don't understand this. White sage will also open up your auric fields and your space and all, and cleanse and purify for something to come in even stronger if it wants to.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, I mean, it's about what's in your heart and your energy and being aware. And, you know, I was lucky. I was into the shamanism way before I was into ghost hunting and investigating. Yeah. And that, to me, that right now, my thing is I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I could care less. My thing is to, like you're talking about, I'm here to help people, whether they of the flesh or of the spirit. And that's what I do, and that's what you do. And Sharla is in the same boat. You know, we're all here to help other people. We're not here to sensationalize and stoke our own egos to make us look like we have all this great stuff going on and all these EVPs. I could care less. I think it's cool if they get that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I'm here. We're here to help other people in the spirits themselves as well. So it's time for our last break. You're watching the Spirit Drum. We'll be right back.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
Coyote Chris Sutton.
Shamanism,
spiritual advisement,
paranormal investigations,
inspirational presentations,
bringing light to the darkest places for over 20 years. Go to coyotechris.com to learn more.
All right, we're back. The Spirit Drum. Gwen, what else you got for us? You're just amazing. What else you got? What else you got to tell us?
Man, let me tell you something right now. I got a whole bunch of little tricks up my sleeve that I got going on right now here, okay? And it's like the whole point being is that, like I said before, is that I like to take a spiritual perspective to my investigations and the things that I do. And I'm not sitting there trying to, I want to take the glamour out of all of everything. It's like, and that's why I really don't be doing a lot. If you ever see my footage or everything, the way you see my footage is the way it gets. It's like, the greatest, I think, accomplishment that I did is that I have stone historical sites too, that I don't have just the investigation that we do, but I'm going on to season 2 for stone historical sites. And so I've been hitting up a lot of hot spots and doing a lot of history and a lot of things on a lot of areas, and and then letting people know what's going on, because I believe that there's a great history in everything. You got to start your investigation somewhere, just because, it's because it's like we did the Bear River Massacre spot, and that was a great honor. No one has done that. And we had the Native American chief that came out and took us and told us about it. And it was supposed to be an investigation. But see, that's the thing about, paranormal investigations, is that you never know how that investigation is going to turn out. You never know how it's going to be. When I got there, I had all these plans and how I was going to do this. I had my crew, I had my people, I had everything. And then when I got out there and I seen where all those people died, I just broke down, man. I just started crying. I left a wreath out there with white sage in it and tobacco and everything. It's like, I just went there, and then when he told us what really happened out there, that that they were taking the babies and swinging them around like helicopters and bashing their heads on rocks and throwing the women and raping them in the water. And I said, that's why the count wasn't what they said it was going to be, because the bodies wasn't on the land. So just think, and just hundreds of spirits just sitting there, and like that, they're in that morning dance, like I'm saying. It's like they were all dancing, but you know what, they couldn't move. They couldn't go to the summer lands. They couldn't, it's like, they couldn't do anything. They just became the land. Their blood became the land. Like I'm saying, the blood was the dirt, the water was the veins, and everything went through. And it's like the hot springs and all that geonomic energy and everything that was going on. And it was like, That investigation didn't turn out the way that I thought it was. It was like just sadness, man. And all I could do was just get there and just say, man, I'm sorry. And and while we was there, Coyote, this most beautiful red hawk just came right down in front of my face, man. And it flew in the tree right there. And I was like, hello, brother. Like I'm saying, I was like, so you guys are here. You really are hearing me, man. I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then, I looked out there, and then all of a sudden came this wild pony, man, this wild horse, and it was just on the other side of the water, and it just kept getting closer. And then it just stood there watching us. And I was like, hello, sister. Like I'm saying, and it's like, and it's like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? I said, this is the investigation right here, man. Is living in the moment of this history of the land that we were on, okay? That was something that instruments couldn't pick up on. It was something that, we had dowsing rods out there. We were right there on the water, and I seen all these signs like my grandmama's taught me, These are the things that, like, my granny used to tell me about the turtles, and she used to tell me about, the different things on the land in Alabama when they were growing up, with the Muskogee Creek Indians, okay? How the lineage of my great grandmama coming from Haiti, okay? I can honestly say that nobody in my family was ever a slave in the United States of America, okay? We came over from Haiti, and we started businesses after the revolutions that happened in Haiti, and it came down, and all that stuff was there. And my grandma, my mama, my granny always told me, she said, Gwen, she goes, your biggest church and your biggest Bible is right here in front of your face. She goes, you have to be aware of what's going on around you, because she said, when I was growing up, she goes, I'm telling you this now so that you can have knowledge, baby, and you can have wisdom. She goes, but when I was growing up, that meant life or death. That meant if my family was going to eat or if my family was not going to eat.
Yeah.
She said, the land the mother give it to you, okay? She said, so you have to respect everything that is right there in front of your face. And that's even paranormal. That's whatever it is like this. I might be pissed. You might have been a killer. You might have been whatever the hell you were in another life. But you know what? I respect that. I'm there to give you a voice. I'm there to give people the information that spirits are real, but don't touch me. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm like, you.
Like, give me 50 feet, because I'm not going to disturb that balance.
Right.
Why am I going to sit there and just for somebody to be on TV and people don't understand? And my last notes on that is that people are doing all this craziness on TV, but they don't understand that billions of people are watching that TV, and it is an avenue.
It's a huge responsibility.
Yes. You got to take that responsibility for the things that you're doing. If you're a healer, and now everywhere I look, everybody's a damn empath now. Everybody's a damn psychic, okay? And I'm just like, really? I'm like, oh, let me read your palms. Let me read your hands. And I'm just like, really? Then why can't you tell me about the damn spirit that's been standing beside your behind since I've been here? Okay. Why didn't you tell me that that babies were murdered in this house? Okay. Why didn't you tell me all these things? It's just like this. That's why I said people can't just come at me any kind of way and they expect me to sit there and bow down, because it is not my will to bow down to nobody. I don't even bow down to God. I honor God. I honor the spirit. I honor my ancestors. I honor everything, but I am not going to get on my knees and be nobody's slave. I don't care. It ain't going to happen.
There you go.
And so that's, and that mentality wise is that, you know what, Stone Paranormal is going to do what Stone Paranormal do as the Great Spirit wants it to be. It's going to keep teaching. It's going to keep giving avenues to people to do what they got to do, because guess what? The truth hurts. And if it's hurting your feelings, then Dolly, I must be telling you something that's right. I'm just being real with you.
No, that's you. That is you. That is 100% you. And you're being real. You're talking about doing history stuff. Well, Sharla's actually going to be starting a project pretty soon here that you might find interesting. Sharla, you want to tell what you got going?
Yeah, it's called the the Ghost of War series, and I am following my ancestors' footsteps through the Civil War. and all the battlefields that they went to. Well, not all of them. There's no way I could hit all of them, but several of them. It's funny, you know, when you go back through your family tree and you start looking at all the different branches that you had. I have soldiers who fought for the Union, soldiers who fought for the Confederacy, side switchers, deserters. It's all there, and one that actually was killed at a very young age. And he's been my inspiration from the beginning, I believe. At first, I didn't know that, but there have been a lot of synchronicities that have happened. I was in Gettysburg several years, well, maybe 4 years ago now. And I was leaving. We had done an investigation. I was on my way out of town, and I just pulled over and stopped in this field. And it wasn't one of the places where a lot of the tourists are. It was literally just on the side of the road at a cross section of a fence. And I got out, and I was by myself, and I walked out maybe 5-10 yards, and I just started feeling the heaviness, the full heaviness of the place. And I, like an idiot, lay down in the middle of the field and staring up. And I thought, you know, just to feel the earth and to feel the ground and let that speak to me and tell me the story, as opposed to the signs on the side of the road.
You know, that's funny that you did that, because when I first looked at you for the first time, and it's like my spirit looked at you, and I'm gonna tell you something like this. And there's a reason that you laid on that ground, is because you were and during that time you were someone that worked with the doctors as like a nursing, and you put a lot of people in the ground. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to get close to what you know, is that during that time you put a lot of people in the ground. And that's why, you know what, you have that urge now to be able to tell that tale, is because a lot of those people didn't have that tale to tell. They would just bury their families, never seen them. They didn't know what was going on with them. That's why we have so many unmarked graves. That's why we have so many things is doing it. You have to fulfill your destiny. You understand what I'm saying? As a healer, whether, I don't know if you know that or not, you have a lot of healing energies that is inside of you. And I think that once you start to heal what's going on inside your gut, I think that, you know what, you're going to be able to emanate, and you're going to be able to just be able to, your energy is just going to flourish, and it's just going to go, and it's just going to, you know, and it's going to get like that, because knowledge for you is that you're never going to take no for nothing, baby.
Right.
You ain't going to, I'm just the first time I'm meeting you, and I'm telling you this. I'd say that's weird about Gwen, is that it's like, you know, they just come to it. And the point being is that you are a nurturer. You've always had something to do with the goddess. You've always had something to do with the trees. You've always had something to do with animals. You always had something to do with putting two and two together.
She just read me like a book.
She did too, I know.
And I'm just telling you. So I'm telling you right now, this project that you're doing right now, your grandma will be very proud of you. Okay, because oh my God, it's like something just came over me, and it's your time to shine. You know, something just told me that it's time for you to stop looking at them stars, and it's time to become the stars. It's time to become the dust. It's time to become, you know, the earth. It's time for you to get on your herbs. It's time for you to get on your oils. It's time to get on your candles. It's time to get on your natural born healing abilities that you have, and you got to kiss it, baby. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna tell you something. Don't let nobody dull your shine, because you know what, if you do not take care of what you got to take care of right now, you're gonna come back again, and you're gonna do the same stupid stuff again and again and again, and then get to that point of life where you're going to be sitting there saying, damn, I should have just went ahead and kept my behind on that ground and listened to what Gaia was telling me, and kept it pushing. And that's real.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, man. Oh my God.
No, that was fantastic. Thank you. I really needed to hear that. Thank you.
Dude,
And
you
you were
need
showing,
to go cleanse yourself. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something like this. You and Coyote, y'all behinds be around some crazy energy, man. Y'all gotta get something and cleanse yourself off. I'm talking about go get you a good old fashioned, river bath.
Yeah.
I'm
You like
looking
the
forward to
Solagi.
that.
Go like the Cherokee, go to the river in the morning, you bathe yourself before each day and welcome the morning. So Gwen, we got a little bit of time left. Where can people find you and find out all about you?
Well, you know what? You can find me on Facebook at Gwen Allen, okay? Just with the LLEN. You can find me on Instagram at Irie Coffee Teas and Bobos, because my production company and my, and everything is through there. You can find me on Amazon Prime, United Kingdom, Stone Paranormal. We got oh my God, we got like 3 seasons up, and then we got like friggin' like multiple things. You can find us on YouTube at Guerrilla Mafia Media LLC. And you know what? I'll make sure that I give you guys all the information so you can, give it to anybody. And that if anybody needs any help or any place like this, or they just need, we're here. Okay. We have Facebook pages, the groups, Stone Paranormal, the community. You can find me pretty much anywhere. Just ask Chris; he know where to find me.
Yeah. Yep, she can be found. That's for sure. That is for sure. Sharla, anything to finish up with? Or?
Thank you so much. It's truly been an honor to have you on tonight and to speak with you. And best of luck in everything that you're doing. I know that you're living it right now, and you are amazing.
You know what? And I'm going to tell you something like this. You be a dang fool to think that this is the last time that you ever hear from me, okay? Y'all stuck with me, okay? I get connected to people. You talking like, oh, like we never talk again. Girl, like I said, all you have to do is like, Gwen. I'll be like, what's going on? I gotta get my tomahawk, girl. We're going to go down. I was like, what's happening? Okay, let me know.
Oh, gosh.
Absolutely. We're all part of the same tribe.
I thank
Gwen,
you guys so
Gwen,
much
my
for
dear,
this
thank you.
opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. And my dear, it's so great to have you on, and so great to talk to you again. It's been a freaking year since we've even seen each other face to face like this, and we can't go that long again. So you and I need to do some stuff, lady. We'll get that going someday, okay?
It's called powwow, baby. We got this going on. Don't worry about it. I'm not going anywhere. And I thank all of your viewers and all your people for sitting here listening to my craziness. I am a busy woman. I'm always go. But it just so happens that I'm going and doing the things that I love doing. So, I thank you guys and I bless you guys. And may, the great spirit always watch over you. And girl, let me tell you something. You better watch out laying in that dirt. Something might get your behind.
I hope so. And special thanks to the Forsyths as well for producing this and keeping us all up and running. So
for real, man. You know what? And I got to give him credit, because for the first time, I'm not the one that's doing his job. I actually get to sit here.
Isn't it nice?
I know.
Okay, I don't have to produce. I don't have to tell nobody what to do. I could just sit here and be stupid.
Love it. I love it.
Many thanks to Wes Forsyth and Scarefest Television for producing and getting us on the air. Everybody, thank you so much for watching the Spirit Drum. We're glad you have it, and may Spirit find you wherever you go. Oh.
Ashe.
C-sa-c-m, 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 yatch-cow-hi, 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 yatch-cow-hi.